The thing is, you see, that in medical context, the critical, we've got, for example, in emergency medicine, we've got the golden hour. In that hour, if you haven't been able to put proper medical care in an emergency situation, you have a far worse chance of having that person survive. The golden hour of recovery. This, the Emergency Services Minister will know it very well. Now, this last week, I had the privilege of visiting Banksia Hill and Casuarina Unit 18 to see what happens when we fail to manage the many issues which face our population right now. Distressing, very distressing, especially when we realise that the appropriate time for managing these young people in Banksia Hill is actually before they are born. The earlier you can get help in there, the better. Now, speaking as a medical practitioner, I appreciate what a parent has said about the child. But on the other side of that table is a doctor who sees this happening and sits there distressed because we wait month after month after month with a child who is missing 12, 15, 18 months of school or schooling, deteriorating in every aspect of their life, knowing that their future life is going to be very much more difficult than it could have been. And this is something that we are responsible for. So I do hope, in fact I pray, that this House will show bipartisan support for this bill. Because it is far more important. People, this morning I was with the University of WA listening to the question about the elections and the universal need for voting, and how the politicians are being held in disregard because of the fighting and because of the inability to work on the behalf of the population without this bickering and fighting. And so I would ask that this not be done. Because if we don't make a change, and this committee I hope will be helpful in leading the change, if we don't make a change in what happens to our children now, we are planning injury to our children. And that is unforgivable. We could talk about the metro versus the regional. I'll speak about that perhaps later, my personal experiences in this. But the costs for the child, the family, the school, and indeed society are such that we are going to end up with Banksia Hill and Casuarina Unit 18, and this is simply unforgivable. We have wasted resources, we have wasted time, and we ought to, I would think, revert to our task of serving the people of Western Australia. This committee will be an excellent tool for that. I do wish that the critical care aspect had not been removed. So I'll make that point there, make it very clearly. This aspect of critical care is fundamental, not just to the child, but ultimately to every aspect of our society.